building and restoring vintage Porsches for about 30 years, and built 170 cars. And of those cars, you know, in the early days, back when kind of full Concours was really the theme for Porsches, I was the guy that was raising wheel arches and modifying the cars. And today, you know, I put more modern running gear in the cars. And so as I looked out on the field today, you know, probably the obvious choice, or what people would have thought I would have picked, would have been a Porsche. I often tell people, you know, I'm not really a car guy, I'm a Porsche guy, because I'm so hyper-focused on that brand and everything that surrounds it. But as I walked through the field, there was one car in particular that just kind of, you know, knocked my socks off. And, you know, it was a 61 190 SL, and it was kind of tucked away right over here. It's kind of an ivory color, and you know, you had to take a double take to really see what it was. But you know, I can imagine that when Richard was building this car, there were people that were saying, hey, you know, why would you cut up a 190? But probably at the time, I would imagine it was a $30,000, $40,000 kind of donor car. And you know, to see what he did, I'm going to let him explain, you know, what he did to create such a magnificent car. And it really, you know, the craftsmanship, the workmanship that went into it, the design, the thought, just really was amazing. So, Richard, I'll let you take it away and tell us more about the car.
Try to keep it short. Very interested in a 190 SL. I think it's one of the sexiest car bodies I've ever seen. I wanted a 190 SL. I drove the 190 SL and couldn't get away from it fast enough. I'm sorry for the purists here. But I wanted to have a fun car to drive, and it sort of emerged. Initially, it was a custom chassis with an LS motor, and I didn't want to do that. And eventually, it came around to I wanted to have it true to Mercedes. And I bought a 600 SL, ironically, from a guy by the name of Richard Carpenter of the Carpenters. It had a 6-liter AMG twin-turbo V12 in it, and I merged the two cars together, and it sort of took on a life of its own. And I'm very, very grateful to have you recognize it, so thank you.
Well, thank you. And if you get a chance to go look at it, you know, everything's very subtle on it. You know, the wheels kind of throw it off; they're a little bit bigger, but from, you know, being, all the proportions are just so amazing. He widened the car by 6 inches, lengthened it by 8 inches, and just everything is so, you know, subtle and so well done. And the award that we put together for you today, any of you that were at the Guardians of Porsche dinner on Thursday night, you saw that we created a clock from a 9/11 fan that was auctioned off for the Amelia Island Foundation charity, and that one brought $9,000 for charity, which was awesome. You know, we're real big on kind of repurposing and upcycling parts, and so the clock that we made for you today is actually a used, old, worn-out 911 intermediate shaft gear that we turned into a clock. And so, you know, it's that was the first one of these that we made in our workshop, and just honored to have you take it.